the boxing cage in which the fight between the two fighters took place. It was a title fight. On the right side stood a guy called Daniel. He was very muscular and very big. On the left side was a master by the name of Quan. Now these guys were going to have a first round. The referee shouted that the first round was starting. The big and pumped up guy ran at the second guy. He wanted to hit him with his fist. He punches the first time, the second time. But in all his punches, he misses. Suddenly, Master Quan turns around, comes up, and kicks him with all his might. He hit him so hard that he flew very far away and could no longer get up. It was a fight for the title. The opponent didn't last even 10 seconds. And the winner is Master Quan. In the interview he said that he was really happy that he won. Today was a great day for it. After which he starts saying he's retiring. He was all over the news about retiring, but soon everyone should forget about him. Popularity is popularity. And he was tired of doing it. He was bored now, and throwing it on the floor. She tells him to stop wallowing. And tells him to go out with his friends already. But he said he was nowhere to be found, and she said it was hard all his life not knowing how to make friends because of his eternal training, and told him to go to his gym and steal something there. The guy replied that he left and now he wants to rest. But she only scolded him. Said there was nothing to be proud of for leaving your 24 years. But he liked it as he wanted to rest. He didn't want to look at his opponents anymore. Now he could do whatever he wanted to do. It had been a long time since the boy had experienced such uninhibited feelings. The last time he had felt this way was a long time ago. The girl said that when he left the screensaver, all his muscles would sag and he would get animal-like. The guy replied that he would fatten himself up to the point where his face would be unrecognizable under a layer of fat. The guy said that she wouldn't need to see him anywhere as no one would recognize him. Then they decided to watch television. There was a show on television. The guy was talking about a new game called Final Saga which has gained popularity all over the world. He was asked if the recently retired Quan could win the game. He said that no matter how good he was at Final Saga, it didn't work. Control is of course important. One proof is that many athletes are already making a name for themselves in the rankings. But control alone is not enough. Understanding the game and levels, pumping items. All of this requires a careful series of battles based on that. And in that sense, Vaughn is hard to match even the easiest player. Even if a player's level is very high, the winner is unquestionably me. In fact, I'm the only wizard. As she looked at him, she saw that he wanted to take his title and he said he would try to play the game. The girl started hugging him and said she couldn't prove this moment when he already felt the full thrill of the game. Guy didn't understand what was good about these games. The guy was walking down the street and everyone recognized him and said he was famous, so it's been a while but he's still popular. He went to the building where the game was held. Everyone there recognized him and said how cool he was and how surprised they were. He asked them what he had to do to play the final old game. They could not believe that he wanted to play the game. He was told he had to go in there to be scanned. The scanning started. He had to stay still for 10 seconds. What abilities in the game will be based on body dexterity and stamina? Everyone was very surprised as everything was at maximum. The main headquarters of the Final Saga. At the main headquarters of the Final Saga. Everyone was in shock. They didn't understand what it was. Why did he have so many trophies? It was jackpot. One win in an international tournament added 20 points to any one skill, and that one had as many as 50. They never thought such a thing could happen. The guy woke up and didn't understand where everything had gone. He wanted to try how to play the game. It came with a special suit that fit well. Now he had to turn on the helmet as soon as he lay down inside. The connection started and he teleported to another world. Launching. There were a lot of texts he didn't want to read. He immediately proceeded to choose a name. He chose the name Ryan. He fought other characters and defeated them very easily. The staff looked at him and were very surprised. They said that no one could pass even the first level of the course and that he had already set a new record. He was trained in 10 minutes. It was impossible. They didn't understand why he wasn't still blocked by the system. They said it was possible with all his skills coming out of life. The player was a master. Sounds like it was a rumor. No. The guy didn't understand how much longer he would fly with these trained masses. He would gradually improve his skills. At the time, his sister was with a friend in a cafe. They were talking about how her brother had started playing the game. Her sister said something her brother wouldn't like. As far as she knew, her brother had never been interested in such things, so soon he would be bored. The opportunity to show his power was there. Sister thought that if he liked the other world and went in, he would stay there. At this time the guy had already reached level 30. He got a boost. The physical enhancement only increased his fighting power. And the natural enhancement gives power and aura. At this time, her sister and her friend were sitting in a cafe. The friend was saying that she had only decided to be nice to her brother because she felt sorry for him, but her sister was saying that it wasn't like that and that she just wanted him to get a divorce. What she was saying was that it would be difficult enough even for a master like him on the first level anyway. They didn't know that he had been through everything for a long time. His sister hoped that he would succeed. In the meantime, the boy was playing a game and successfully defeated monsters, which was too easy for him. The guy decided to go in a different direction. There was a boss told him. He had fought level 10 monsters before, but now it was level 26 monsters. He said, level more, level less, what difference does it make? When he decided to fight him, all of a sudden a huge slashing bugger jumped out from behind him. He was level 35. The guy was surprised and said he'd have to deal with him. The bear tried to hit him, but the first blows he just missed. So the guy jumps up again, turns around and kicks him with all his might. He got a notification that he was congratulated and got the first level achievement, and his critical damage was increased by 5%. His artifacts started disappearing. He didn't understand what happened. Maybe they ran out of durability. He bought them with his own money and didn't understand how they couldn't work. Suddenly a glove popped off the cliff. He liked it because the glove had magical status. He had been told to send a message when he entered the game, but he thought that now he was not in the game, so he would just raise his level. The head of the team was watching him and said there was a mistake. They were saying that it would upset the balance if the team leader got maximum experience. They wouldn't know what to do. The sister told the boy not to touch the loose glasses. She would keep an eye on him. He was just supposed to buy them. Every score mattered in this game, so she told him not to waste them. The developers didn't understand who this eunuch was and why he went through everything so easily. And he fought all the time. She said to let me go. I should put him to answer her question. Okay, let's think this isn't fair, but this user is really affecting the influx of new players. So now only his activity should have been flagged. The guy is crying. Natural reinforcement. The developers didn't even know they could get him in the first place. A guy walked into a novice village. And in it they started humiliating him and telling him he was a lost soul. And they started asking him for money and artifact. The guy thought maybe he could get a job. He came into the Fighters Guild. When he walked in, he saw a huge pumped up guy ask him what he wanted. She said he was looking for a job and if they had any offers. The guy smiled and started saying that you came to the right place and that he shouldn't be shy. He also asked if he was aware of the guild being an owl. The guy replied that he wanted to be a fighter. He was told that a true martial arts connoisseur had finally arrived. The man gave him a paper and told him to put his hand here to register and get a new quest. When he put his hand in, the man was very surprised, so he would see the natural enhancement. Afterwards, he said there was no problem and thanked him for coming. He also said he still lacked a skill and had something in mind. These skills were not very strong, but they were free. The guy looked and understood why the guild was not popular. As a skill, it offered regular punches and the increase in strength was minuscule. He said it sucked and left. The pumped-up guy started apologizing and was still in shock that he had legendary natural boosts. The guy didn't know what he had to do now. He had to get the cross, but he didn't know where to go next. He wasn't a gamer, so it was hard for him to navigate. Guy thought to fight stronger opponents first. He came to the battlefield and saw a sick arc there who was level 28. He said it was mine and wanted to kill him. The other guy said it was his and killed him earlier. Seems he never placed his victims who didn't make it in time, ate them. He wanted to attack another arch, but he couldn't as these sorcerers killed him faster and Steam didn't have time for anything. But after a few minutes he saw another arc shouting it was mine and took him down. He attacked. He was asked what he was doing. You have nowhere else to farm or what? They started saying that it was their arc and he stayed for a wheelbarrow. They insulted him and left. The guy didn't understand why he couldn't be the same as them. Over time, as he watched them afterwards, he realized that the ranged player was luring the monster and his comrades were finishing him off. It looked like he wasn't going to be able to feather the place without sound. So he went in search of less crowded places. He handled monsters that were stronger than him with ease. And here he was already realizing the guy was from 25th to 28th, too bad he was the only one here. And now he was at level 28, his stats had increased by 5%. The guy went on the road looking for something interesting. They decided to go even higher. There he saw a man. It was a white cloud bandit. He would have level 45. He didn't understand what the bandit was going to loot here, but nevertheless raising his level to level 45 would be fun. He suddenly attacked him so no one knew who did it. And when he saw this guy, the bandit grabbed his sword and started swinging it at the guy. He was definitely stronger than his previous enemies. His weapon was a long sword and the radius in his attack was greater than the bell. The guy realized that the swordsman was attacking diagonally and he came back and hit you with all his might so that he flew away. The guy liked the fact that he had a small level and beat the guy who had a large level. So he moved on. Next he went into some kind of base. He quickly walked up to a watchtower and crashed it so that it fell down. Next he started attacking the warriors of this village. They don't understand what the hell it is. His sister used to ask him if Leon could win if he was attacked by a mob of, say, 17 people. He said any mob could be beaten if he knew one way. She asked him what it was. He answered that the most effective way was to control the space. You have to move the fighters to a narrow room where you can take each opponent one or two at a time. There was also another way to beat a crowd. You have to knock out their main man. He sneaked up on him and saw the leader waiting for him to attack him. And he ran up to him to hit him, but it wasn't so easy. The main man just ducked. And now that narrow space was not playing in his favor. The main man said he was surprised he hadn't escaped yet. He knew the big guy was stronger than him, but he knew he had to use his speed against him. He had a similar fighting style to mine, and it would be a lot easier for the guy to anticipate his moves. The guy had a very good sense. That's what we lacked in a fight to the death, and adrenaline. That's what he started playing in the squad. He started to kick the ringleader and with all his speed tried to hit him, but missed again. And this time the ringleader already started to attack. The ringleader started to make a punching bath and the guy knew he couldn't take it. He knew he couldn't move his left arm. The other warriors wanted to help the ringleader, but he told them not to interfere because it was his prey. And if they'd all attacked together, the lad wouldn't have survived. He said it was a good fight. No one should get in his way. Tension. Excitement. It's been a long time since a guy's had that. He was excited to get into this game. He started releasing a shockwave that caused the guy to fall, but he quickly got up and started grabbing the ringleader's arm. Eventually he put him on the floor. The other warriors couldn't believe it. And thanks to that, the pair opened up a new level. His arm no longer hurt. It seemed that with the new level he was completely healed. Of the bosses in this orange item, although the guy at home that in this area only a series of white-blue items can be. It looks like he got a legendary item. He grabbed it and started running. The warriors started running after him too. Like the guy said, the most effective way to deal with a pack is to control the space. You have to move the fight to a narrow space where you can deal with each opponent one by one, 1 yard at a time. Just like now the guy ran into a narrow controlled space and told them to attack. He took them down with ease. Next he went to the waterfall and looked at his object, which he had in his possession as the leader of the bandits. According to the map he found the place. It looks like the water must have fallen yesterday. The guy tried to get in there, and indeed, he saw phase 2 of the ordeal there, and there he saw new characters. They were puppets that came to life. The guy didn't know when they'd end, but he had no choice but to fight him, and the guy started having some kind of visual test. The guy started in a hell of a lot of pain. It seemed to be a test of stamina. His mana and health were running out, and these guys just weren't going to keep up with him. He had to hold out till the end. Otherwise he was going to die here.